Now joining us live with the latest on the situation in San Juan is Fox News correspondent-at-large Geraldo Rivera. Geraldo, we are so glad you are there. I heard you say earlier today that, like myself, you are getting texts and emails from people who have family on the island and are very worried and have a lot of pressing questions. Let's get to some of them because you've been addressing them. So people say there aren't enough phone lines open to the island. There are some places where you can get through, but there are other territories. I'm going to butcher this. I'm going to do my best. Boquerón, some other territories where they can't reach anyone. Do you have any sense when there will be more phone lines? Have you heard anything?
I have not, Melissa, and it is extremely frustrating. Cell service is spotty at best. It is extremely unreliable, and it adds to the ominous nature of this spreading human catastrophe. If you can't reach your auntie in this community or that community, you feel the worst. Now, I personally think that most people are fine, although the casualty count is now deep in the teens, 18, I believe. But I don't think that that's the big problem. The big problem is communication. If we could communicate, they could tell us what their needs are specifically, but we know also what the needs are. We know that they need electric power. They need gas for the generators, for their vehicles. They need fresh water for sanitation and for cooking and for drinking. You know, it's great. I love the American Red Cross arrayed behind me. Melissa, the other people from Health and Human Services and other federal employees and FEMA people are also here. But they didn't bring cell phone service with them. Yeah. You know, I know you have a series of specific inquiries. So just ask, and I'll give you my best, latest information.
So in the last hour, we heard from the head of FEMA on the White House lawn, and he said that the National Guard has landed on the island and that they are there specifically to rebuild the energy infrastructure, the grid, and that's a big worry. You had said, why doesn't somebody just bring a ship with a ton of generators? If you were going to do something to help, that would help a lot. He was asked a question like that, and he said, we are working really hard to open more capacity in the ports and the airports, that's what FEMA is doing right now, working on that. How desperately is that needed? What difference would that make?
Absolute difference. The big port of Ponce crippled. San Juan only operating during the daytime, barges waiting to come ashore, but the infrastructure is not there. Yesterday, it was the most frustrating thing in the world. Here at San Juan Airport, there was one relief flight. There were idle C-5s, idle C-17s, C-130s, because the air traffic control was not in place. The air tower had been destroyed by the hurricane, so you're not getting the bulk now. I love these people. These people are, you know, Red Cross is my favorite charity in these disasters, bar none, over decades. But people are, you know, they come, they need to eat too. They need to drink water when they're here too. They need lodging too. The people of Puerto Rico need power. They need water. They need those generators ashore. They need the infrastructure to be operational. And I tell you what about the power grid and FEMA announcing that they're going to meaningfully step it up. Do you know that 70% of this power grid was already out because of Hurricane Irma? So 70% of the island had no power before Maria even hit. So, you know, the response, you know, sincere as it is, I think it's fair to say is relatively belated, Melissa. And I'm not criticizing anybody, believe me.
No.
I know how tough this is. But this has not been a well-oiled machine, put it that way.
Geraldo, here on the After the Bell, we're going to continue to be a source of information. We're going to field questions. Viewers out there, go to our Facebook page, go to Twitter, send them to David and myself, and After the Bell, we're going to continue to talk to Geraldo and whoever else is there, gather information and try and keep people connected and keep the pressure on and keep the information flowing during this time. Geraldo, we will not forget about the people right there with you, and we're going to stay on this and help. Thank you for coming on the show today. We'll see you next time. Thank you.